everybody, let's go ahead and get started. I just filmed a tutorial on my updated brow routine, so I will post that video soon. That way you can take a look and see how I got these brows, but I will link that in the description below when I do post it. So usually I like to wait to do my eyebrows, but because I wanted to do an eyebrow tutorial, I did those first. I'm going to go ahead and prime my face first using the Becca Cosmetics backlight priming filter. Looks like this. Hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to start by pressing that into my pores and then eventually go to the outsides of my face, and this will help kind of take care of some of this this concealer that looks really weird on my face, but I don't have foundation on yet. So we're going to start with the eyes. I like to use my Naked Skin concealer by Urban Decay in light neutral. I'm going to start by putting that on my lids, and I'm going to take my finger to start with to blend that in. I find, because I have freckles on my lids, that if I use my Beauty Blender or my Real Techniques sponge, it takes off a little too much of this, and it doesn't cover my freckles as well, and I don't like having to use more and more product when I know I'm just wasting it on going on the sponge. So next thing I'm going to do, you can use any translucent powder or brightening powder, whatever you have to set that concealer. I'm going to be using my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. I'm going to use this one right here. This is called Diffused Light. I've been loving this particular palette. I got it as a gift, actually. I was a bridesmaid in a wedding, and actually I was a maid of honor, and my best friend gave me a gift certificate to Sephora, and I decided to finally take the plunge and get the Hourglass palette. It's not a cheap palette, that is for sure. I want to say it was like 80 bucks, somewhere in that. So go ahead and set that. And then we're going to start by using our Jaclyn Hill Favorites palette. And all of the shadows that we use today are going to come from this palette. So this is the palette. Hopefully nothing falls out this time. And we're going to start with this color right here. I'm just going to get a little bit on the brush, tap off the excess, because the Jaclyn Hill palette does tend to have quite a bit of fallout, so I definitely like to make sure that I tap off the excess to begin with. And I'm just going to take that back and forth. I know they call it windshield wiper motions, which is kind of funny to me. Just go back and forth. You can do circles.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, baby. This is Carly Ray. If you guys saw her years ago when she made her first debut on my YouTube channel. Hi.
Do my makeup
Soon, baby. And I'm also going to take that just on the inner and outer corners, just with what's left over on my brush. She likes to use my Becca Cosmetics palettes, or my Becca Cosmetics compacts as UFOs, spaceships. It's pretty funny. Okay, so the next color that we're going to go in with is this beautiful salmon-y orange color right here. We're going to be using the smaller tapered brush. It is a crease brush. This one is by Crown, and it is the pointed crease brush. Anyhow, so we're just going to take that color and start by going in the crease and bringing that all the way over to the inside corner of the eye. Look, I absolutely love this palette. This palette is a phenomenal palette. The next one we're going to go in with is this color in the middle. It's kind of this salted caramely looking color. Listen to me using names from my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. And we're just going to use that same brush and just deepen the crease with it. And we're going to start putting that on the inner and outer corners as well. The next one we're going to do to deepen the crease is a combination of this one right here and this one right here. This one is a bit of a cool tone. It is warm, but it's still a cooler tone compared to the rest of the palette, so I like to mix these two to really give a warm brown depth without making it start to look burgundy. So we're going to take that and put that in the crease as well, again using the same brush. Now we're going to go back in with this orange color, this kind of salmon-y orange coral color, and we're going to take that on the same crease brush, but we're going to keep it on the upper part of the crease and just start blending that out. You know, and I'm not really getting what I want with that brush, so I'm going to actually go back in with this fluffy brush and add some more of that. There we go. And if you really want to push it, which tonight's date night, so I'm going to do that anyway, I'm going to take this orange right here, and I'm going to add just a little bit of that up there as well. I am going to put a little bit of MAC Fix Plus on a flat brush. This is by ELF. It's one of their eyeshadow brushes. You could use saline drops if you have them. Some people like to put the shadow on first. I don't really care. Sometimes I put it on first, sometimes I don't. I'm going to mix these two colors right here in the palette and put that on the center of my lid. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to take this one right here, and we're going to go over the top of it with that. And you'll see it tones down the pink to more of an orangey color. Champagne color, you could add a little bit of this gold right here, which I think I want to add just a little bit. I like the idea of kind of the sunsets of summer. So I'm only going to add a little bit because I still want to keep that pinky orangey color. So there we go. Then what I'm going to do is go back in with this pointed crease brush, and I'm going to grab a little bit of this transition color right here that we used in the beginning, and I'm just going to help to blend that into each other. Alright, next, because I've already done my eyebrows, I'm just going to take another fluffy brush, and I'm going to take this. Seriously, look at all those colors that just fell out. I'm going to take this gold one, since it didn't fall out, and put it just underneath my brow bone. Before I do the lower lid, or the lower lash line rather, I'm going to do, hey sweetie, let's not do that. Sorry. Before I do that, I'm going to go in with some gel liner. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Lacquer Liner, but I am going to use the bronze today because I think it's just so beautiful. I have a really good friend of mine who's a makeup artist. I have a lot of really good makeup artist friends who used this on me, and I fell in love with it, and now it's the only gel liner I'll use. So I'm going to get a little bit of that, and I'm going to put it on this angled brush from MAC, and I'm going to tight line with it. I'm going to get in nice and close so you can see. I don't know how close it'll let me get there. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit more on there and really push that into the lashes. Because I have blonde lashes, it's hard for me to get mascara all the way to the roots. So I'm just going to do this. If you wanted to, you could do a winged liner, you could do a thin liner, you can do whatever you'd like. I'm going to go just along the top here, and I'm going to draw just a little bit of what I have left over on my brush on top of my lashes. Now before I smudge that, I'm just going to take some more and put it right here on my lower lash line. You can skip this part if you want, or one thing that I like to do is put a nude liner on there to make my eyes look bigger. One of my makeup artist friends, actually the same one who told me about this gel liner, told me is that if your eyes are about to water when you're doing your makeup, if you go it helps to make your eyes not water. So now I'm going to go in with this little brush. It's just a flat definer brush. And I'm going to... Nope. Thank you. She's grabbing my film camera. And no, we're going to leave it... Stop. We're going to go in with this color right here on the bottom. And I might actually mix it with this one because I really like this one too. Carly, get out of her face. Always in her face. And we're going to put that on the lower lash line to start with. We're going to take this shimmery orange right here on the flat definer brush, and we're going to go in and blend that out with it. One thing you could do is take some of that orange and set your inner waterline, or your lower inner waterline with it. You can see how much fallout is in my eye though. Anyhow, so you could put that orange on there and it just makes this beautiful, beautiful shimmer. Oh, my little bottom is sleeping. She's so cute. Seriously, if I could have like 1,000,000 babies like her, I would. She is the calmest baby I've had. I have 3 babies, 3 girls, and she is the easiest baby of all of them. I'm going to use a black-brown mascara. You know, I am ride or die for this Perversion mascara by Urban Decay. It is expensive, but it is such a beautiful black mascara. However, same makeup artist friend turned me on to the L'Oreal Voluminous original. Looks like this. And for those of you wondering why I have so many really great makeup artist friends, it's because I am a professional photographer. These videos I just like to do for fun, because I love playing in makeup. Alright, so my eyes are looking right. Now on to the face. I'm going to zoom out a little for this. Alright, I'm going to take my Age Perfect Glow Renewal, and I'm going to just put a couple drops of that on my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. So I went ahead and bought it. They were out of my shade, so I bought W3, and I actually really love this. So as you can see, you open it up. There's an applicator that comes with it, but I like my Real Techniques sponge, and this is what it looks like on the inside. And so I literally just push it once, and then I'll start putting it on my face. Now there are 2 different things I like to do. This color with the Urban Decay Naked Concealer, I like to put my concealer on before my foundation because it makes me look too pasty this time of year, but I don't want to buy a different concealer. So what I'll do is just put that on like this, and then after I've gone in and done the one thing, I'll take my Real Techniques sponge or my beauty blender and go over the top of that with my foundation so that it kind of tones down the contrast between my foundation and my concealer. When I get to here, I don't want there to be a huge contrast in my neck and my face. So what I'll do is take my L'Oreal Lumi in this liquid foundation in the W12, put a pump on the back of my hand, take it and just put a stripe here, down here, and just kind of on my lips. Get that off the back of my hand. And then I will take my sponge, put it in there again, start on my lips so that gets the darkest part, and then start moving outward so that it blends nicely. I am going to be using my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder Palette today for this. I'm going to start by taking the diffuse light right here, it's kind of the yellowy colored one, on a brush and setting that under eye powder. or setting that under eye concealer, excuse me, with this powder. And I'm going to use this one, which is Dim Light, and I'm going to very lightly dust that all over the face to set the foundation without making it look like I've set it with a powder. For the bronzer, I'm actually going to take my MAC Golden Bronze. It's a loose powder. It is really dark on me, so I have to be very light-handed with it. Using that same brush, I'm going to just dip it into the lid and swirl it around, get off the excess. I'm going to start by lightly brushing my cheeks like this. Yeah. Okay, so now that I've used that, I'm actually going to go in with the Luminous Bronze Light in this palette. And I'm going to use that to actually bronze the areas on my face that I want bronzed. So I know a lot of people will use, a lot of people will use a bronzer for contouring, and I didn't really want to use a bronzer for contouring, but I did want to give a little extra color to the skin down there because I really didn't want to contour. And my hair thing looks awesome. But this I actually want to bronze with, so I'm going to start at the top of my cheeks where the sun would kiss my cheeks. You can see it's a really, really pretty bronze color. Then I'm going to take that same color and I'm going to hit the top of my forehead right here. Again, this is where the sun would hit. We're not making this entire middle section of the face lighter than everything else, because that's not what we're going for. We're going for a sun-kissed look. And right there is where the sun would kiss you. Next, down the bridge of the nose. Because again, that's where the sun's going to get you. Right here. And then just a little on the chin down here, but I don't like to do too much of that. So now that I've done that, I'm going to just kind of get the excess off the brush, and then I'm really just going to blend using that same brush. Okay, so then I want to add just a little bit of color to my cheeks. Not a whole lot, because I like the bronzer, the sun-kissed sort of look. I'm actually going to mix these two colors. This is the Luminous Flush and the Mood Exposure Ambient Lighting Powder. And I'm going to take this new brush that I have and use that, even though I'm not really sure that that's what this is for. This is probably more for contouring, but I'm just going to add a little bit. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is add some shimmer. I'm going to use this center color here, which is the Iridescent Light, and I'm just going to use the same brush because I actually really like it, and just pick a bunch of that up. And I'm going to start right here on the top of the cheeks. And then I'm going to take what I have left over, and I'm going to smile and put that on the apples of my cheeks. I'm just going to take a fluffy brush like this and go into this powder here. And I'm going to line this right here, this right here, and then my Cupid's bow. But I'm going to use this color right here, and I'm going to use this little flat brush. You can use any tiny brush you want. I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to put that on the inner corner of the eye to really highlight that inner corner. Let's go back to this yellow one right here. We'll do that one instead. And this is kind of my, I don't know if people actually do this. I call it my signature trick because I accidentally did it to myself one day and it was beautiful, and now I do it all the time. So I'm going to take that same color, and the way my eyes work, my eyes are shaped, I guess you could say, is that I have like this contour almost right here. So what I like to do is take this and bring it up into the shadow like that. That's probably way too much. Yeah, that's way too much. But it adds just a little bit of shine where there wouldn't normally be a highlight, and it really picks up. Do you see how it picks up so pretty like that? I'm actually just going to take this fluffy brush that we used before and tone it down a little because it's a little too much that you can use. I'm just going to go ahead and use it because I'm not loving this. Now I'm loving this. Look at that. And then I'll just take a little bit of extra and put it on my lips. Alright, now I need to go get some lip stuff to finish this look, and I will be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and blow dried my hair because it needed to be done, and I wanted to pull together a look for you that was cohesive. So I'm actually going to be using some Ride or Die MAC products on my lips. I'm going to be using MAC Shy Girl. It's a cream sheen lipstick. So I'm just going to put that on. Now I did not exfoliate my lips. Usually you want to do that before you put on a lipstick. Over it I'm going to do a gloss. This is probably my favorite gloss ever. And of course, going along with Jaclyn Hill, this is a Jaclyn Hill favorite staple. This is a Mineralize gloss. It's a gloss in the Mineralize glass line, and it's called Be Nice. So it is nice indeed. It's like this really pretty pinky coral shade that really ties this look together perfectly, in my opinion. And there you have it. That is my summery, springy into summery look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you liked it, I hope you subscribe, give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment. If you have any questions on any products that I use, let me know. A list of that is also down below. And I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did. Again, this is like my spring to summer staple. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I apologize that my background is my messy bedroom, but hey, I've got 3 kids. One isn't 3 months old yet, so it is what it is. But I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!